welcome to Butterflies of Wisdom, everyone, and happy Memorial Day. Thank you to all those who serve, and also happy Victoria Day up in Canada, too. And when you listen to this episode, it will be out on a Wednesday, so happy the end of May and happy the beginning of June. I not only have me today, I have Ella. Ella happens to be a yoga teacher. Sorry, I almost said music teacher for some reason. Yoga and music go together, but she happens to be a yoga teacher. And so without further ado, I'm going to let Miss Ella take it away.
Well, thank you so much, Wynn, for this amazing opportunity and incredible experience. And I'm so honored and blessed and privileged to be here. Thank you so much.
Well, you're welcome. And now, could you please explain to my fans more of what you do and how you got into teaching yoga?
Absolutely. I am a yoga teacher. I'm a 200-hour Yoga Alliance certified yoga teacher. I'm a disability activist. I am a writer. I am an aspiring author, and I am a passionate participant of a beautiful nonprofit organization called Off the Mat into the World. And I believe yoga came into my life, not the other way around. And it came into my life at 19, almost 10 years ago. And I started with private restorative classes. Having a physical disability of cerebral palsy my entire life, for almost 29 years, I knew that I needed to do something for myself. And so I found a local studio in New Jersey and started yoga that way. And it has grown immensely. And I then, a few years down the road, took an amazing workshop with my really great teacher and really great friend, Sean Korn, her Detox Flow Yoga workshop. And that was my first group class that I had ever taken. And it was the most challenging but the most amazing. And I have grown in love with this practice, with this community, and then in 2012 I became a certified yoga teacher through Ramapo College of New Jersey, which is the college that I graduated from in 2013 with a Bachelor's of Arts in Psychology. So Ramapo College.
Well, good on you. Jeez.
Yeah. So Ramapo College is a Yoga Alliance certified school.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you know this, Ella, but I also have cerebral palsy. You probably figured that one out by now. But you don't sound like you have cerebral palsy. My God, you sound like I'm talking to an able-bodied woman. So how badly did your cerebral palsy affect you?
I was given cerebral palsy through my premature birth. I was born 2.5 months early. I weighed 1 pound 5 ounces when I was born, and I was in the hospital for 3.5 months. And from the lack of oxygen, I don't know for how long, but the lack of oxygen is what caused my cerebral palsy. And I've known about it my entire life. Mm-hmm.
You have a very similar story to me then. For those of you who do not know the in-depth details of my story, I was born at 1 pound 3. So, Ella, you beat me in birth weight there. And so I, like Ella, had a traumatic birth, lack of oxygen, and so, but Ella and I are still functioning able-bodied women despite cerebral palsy. So, okay, my next question is for those of my listeners who think, okay, this is amazing between Lynn and Ella, they're both working out nuts and doing all this stuff to keep our bodies healthy. What would you recommend for someone who is not quite into yoga yet, like me, hint, but knows she should do it, knows she or he should do it because of the stretching benefits?
Yeah, I find it so interesting that you said a particular word there. You said should. And I believe that we have been shoulded a lot in our life. And particularly for those of us who do have a disability, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. And I am actually really kind of tired of being shoulded on, and I got that inspiration from another teacher of mine, Iana Van Zandt, and yoga is a practice that is a lifelong practice, and it is about not only the physicality of poses, but it's about the physicality of the psyche and our hearts and our minds. And it's about community, connection, curiosity, belonging, coming together, union. Yoga means to unite. It means to connect. It means to come together and make whole and make one. So it's really about listening to your heart, listening to your body, listening to your intuition, and taking it from there.
Okay, so you're sick and tired of being shoulded on. I'm going to use that terminology, being that the doctors and the physical therapists and all the rest of the world said, you should do this, you should do that, you should do that, but yet I'm sorry, but this is my soapbox. What drives me nuts is that doctors are trying to put all these kids and all these adults on baclofen. Baclofen is a muscle relaxer for those of you that don't know. It's also a depressant one, and so it depressed mind. But doctors is the one that comes to cerebral palsy. They never look outside the box. They never look outside the box. They never look at yoga. They never look at the exoskeleton, which I'm in. They never look anything outside the box. Medication, medication, medication. Now, Ella, how do you feel about that?
I say meditation, meditation, meditation is my answer. I also have not been, given that particular medication, but, in the past I have, been on medication for anxiety and panic attacks. And what I have learned is yoga is the answer. Yoga is the medication. Meditation is the medication. And that is what I believe, and that is what I go forth with.
Because we can function with cerebral palsy, thank you very much, quite nicely without medication and without doctors telling us you need to be on medication, quite frankly. There are alternatives to put cerebral palsy at bay. No, cerebral palsy can't be cured. No, Ella and I couldn't pass it on to our kids if we choose to have kids. They could be completely able-bodied. And yes, we could have all the pleasures women like, and yes, we could get married. But I think the stigma of the cerebral palsy, and this is my personal opinion, needs to be broken.
Mm-hmm.
And broken in a good way. Do
Yes.
you agree with me, Ella?
I do agree. I do. I agree that it needs to be broken open. And what I have learned through being broken open myself has taught me that another great teacher of mine, Ela Wojtowicz, has taught me that, you know, having a broken heart is being broken open.
So having a broken heart is being broken open and getting someone to listen to you and listen to your struggles about cerebral palsy.
Yes, and being broken open and having a broken heart has taught me to be broken open and to be honest,
okay,
and to be open and to be humble,
okay,
and to be healed.
Yeah, and to be healed. Yeah, exactly. So, Ella,
yes,
what is your favorite audio book? If you have one, it doesn't have to be a yoga book to say. It just has to be a book that you go back to time and time again.
I have many audiobooks that I love, and I have many physical books that I love. I consider myself a very multi-passionate, multi-curious person and woman, and I love Big Magic, Creative Living Beyond Fear by my dear friend Elizabeth Gilbert. I love What I Know for Sure by dear Oprah Winfrey. I love Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. I love Daniel Laporte. I love any spiritual book. I love The Alchemist by Pablo Coelho, and I probably mispronounced his name. But anything and everything that can and will open my heart and open my mind to
I like that attitude.
a deeper part of me, a higher part of me, is the path that I will choose and is the path that I'm on. And not everyone is going to agree, not everyone will agree, but I am at a point in my life at 29, almost 30, that I can't care. I can't care. And for the longest time, I would say most of my young adult life has brought me to this place of realizing and feeling that my soul is appalled. And I adopt that through my friend Elizabeth Gilbert. And I take that as my own because my soul has been appalled. And no longer can I and will I stand for degradation, for stereotypes, for criticism, for doubt, for judgment, for fear, for this is how it has to be, this is how it should be, this is how it must be. That I can no longer stand for and stand in.
Well, good. I believe what you believe, and I'm slowly but surely going back to school in the fall to get my journalism degree in fashion journalism, believe it or not. And I just can't stand when people say, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Because I need to live my truth. I need to help the disabled to the best of my abilities. Now, what is your best entrepreneurial moment in all this? What is your best life lesson in all this becoming a yoga teacher?
My biggest entrepreneurial life lesson in all of this, and becoming a yoga teacher and becoming an integrative nutrition health coach and being a disability activist, has taught me that I am my own, that no matter what, no matter the love, the support, the guidance that I receive, I am my own, and I have to stand strong for myself. And that is what I have learned. That is what I continue to learn, and that is what I hope to continue to learn, and to hope to pass on to my students, hope to pass on to my teachers, and hope to pass on to my future child or children.
Well, that's beautifully said. And, Ella, you don't happen to listen to podcasts, do you? You probably don't, because you're so busy empowering the world with yoga. But if you do, what's your favorite podcast?
My favorite podcast will definitely be Butterflies of Wisdom. And it is also Big Magic Lessons by Elizabeth Gilbert. And
that's right. She does have a podcast, by the way.
She does. And TED Talks, and really connecting with really like-minded souls and beings.
And so when you keep saying my friend Elizabeth Gilbert, did you actually see her speak, or do you know her physically, or what's the reference?
Yeah, we've known each other for about 7 or 8 years. And
oh my God!
Yeah, and so we have really been great friends, and she has been a huge teacher in my life, and I honor, cherish, and respect our friendship, and it's been a gift and a blessing and a privilege.
And how did you meet her?
So I remember this like it was yesterday. I was home on my winter break from community college, and I went on her website and saw that she was doing her committed book tour in New York City in Union Square in Barnes & Noble, and I shared with my mom, can we go? And so I dragged her to New York City. And we get there. I'm in the front row, and the woman, to kind of taking care of the whole event, kept saying, Liz can't personalize the books, and I said, I'm thinking to myself, well, I that's fine because I'm here, and I'm in the front row, and so as I get up to the line and I'm going up the ramp. She sweetly and kindly asks, what is your name? And I said, Elizabeth. And she says, I can do that. And from then on, we've been friends ever since. And
oh, boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here's someone really just a book by its cover saying that she can't personalize the book, but yet she saw probably the sparkle in your eyes and the bull in the China shop attitude and said, okay, I have to break tradition and personalize at least one book.
Yeah, I definitely felt like we were long lost friends, and I thank my parents for naming me Elizabeth, because Elizabeth carries for me the name such blessing and such honor and such privilege. So knowing someone who has touched my life on so many levels and in so many ways, my life, my heart, my soul, means the world.
Well, that's a wonderful story. And before I let you go, and first of all, I want people to know that, one, cerebral palsy doesn't stop us. I don't know who cerebral palsy stops now. Two, I want people to know where they can find you.
Sure, absolutely. First off, I want to say that I feel the same way, that cerebral palsy does not stop me, and cerebral palsy does not have me. I don't have it. And people can find me on my website at elayoga.com, elayoga.com. They can find me on Facebook. It's Ela Elizabeth and my last name, Wojtowicz. They can find me on YouTube at Elizabeth Wojtowicz, which is my last name. And they can also find me on Instagram at Elizabeth Ella Liz W OTM10.
And of course, we'll have Ella's information in the show notes, and I presume all her social media handles are hooked up to her website.
They are currently not fully connected. I am actually in the process of recreating my website, so I will make sure that my social media platforms will be connected.
Yes, because now you have to make sure, because you, along with me, are inspiring every person on the planet now. I'm sorry for the Kleenex box interview this morning. I'm sorry for the Kleenex box interview this morning, but Ella and I had a scheduling confusion on Friday, so I figured I might as well bring to you guys on Memorial Day. But remember, Kleenex boxes are welcome to this interview, because even though Ella and I don't want you guys to have a pity party for us, shedding emotional happy tears would be happy, but don't have a pity party for those with cerebral palsy. And before I let Ella go, I'm going to have Ella ask me a couple questions that she texted me beforehand, and I'm going to try and answer those live to the best of my abilities.
And I would be honored to ask you questions. So my first question to you is, what brought you to do this work?
Well, I wrote a book when I was 23 years old, and that book, I-W-I-N, and yes, W-I-N is my Lego name, Win, and that's how you spell it. And I wrote that book when I was 23 years old, after my second stop and smell of the roses moment. My second up and smell the roses moment. I actually lost my biological mom to meningitis / a brain aneurysm. So I wrote that book all about my life having cerebral palsy. Mm-hmm. And so needless to say, 2 weeks after the book came out, not only were my friends, my family, my fan base buying that book, but it hit number 1 on Amazon. I don't know how I did that. But
that's beautiful.
2 weeks after the book came out, thank you, people started asking me, how do you do all this with cerebral palsy? How do you run a business? How do you do work out as much as you do, all with dealing with cerebral palsy? And so I thought, okay, well, if I get behind podcasting like one more time and explain I have cerebral palsy, this is my story, people are going to tune me out. And so I thought, well, why not bring lifelong learners that I would enjoy interviewing in to my podcast and then fuse my story with their story as well. So this is how this podcast came to be, and it was originally called Men's Women of Wisdom. And yes, the archives of Men's Women of Wisdom are still hanging around. And I would recommend you guys go back and listen to those, see how horrible I was when I first started this process. But this is how this work came to be, and I love it. And as I said, I'm going back to school to get my fashion journalism degree on me to make this work bigger and better.
That's beautiful. You know, that is absolutely beautiful, and it's an honor to know you and to connect with you and to do this interview with you. And so I thank you for your courage. I thank you for your tenacity. I thank you for your dedication, your determination, your initiative, and your independence. I really thank you for that.
Well, I thank you for now being a part of the podcast family and showing people that I think you stole my brain at one point, because I think we're sisters from another mother. Seriously, I mean that, because you have the same tenacity and the same drive that I do, and the bull in the Chinatown attitude, which drives people nuts because we know what we want.
We do. We absolutely do know what we want, and the more, I believe, the more that we are being shitted on, the more it inspires us to just go out
break
there.
To the mold and break to the mold. Go out there and break
exactly,
the mold.
and break the mold. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I agree. And Ella, I appreciate your time this morning. I know with the timing it got a little confusing, but we got it all figured out. And I appreciate you guys listening to Ella's story. By the time you hear this, it will be Wednesday morning. But please share this episode out with friends, because we need to break the mold of cerebral palsy. And this podcast has been sponsored by Go Kitta, K-I-T-T-E-R. And what Kitta does is they compose a tweet, or you can compose a tweet for yourself, but they put the trending hashtags with it so you guys don't get lost in the heat. And I appreciate Ella's wisdom, and I appreciate you guys listening, and I hope you guys enjoyed another fabulous episode. Thanks to you guys.
Thank you.